Okay, picture this. You're at the grocery store, right? Your cart is full of just normal stuff. Chicken, rice, a few vegetables. You get up to the checkout, you swipe your card, and decline. Oh, that feeling. Your face gets hot, you feel everyone's eyes on you, you mumble some excuse, you try another card, and thank God it goes through. As you're walking to your car, you just feel like a complete and total failure. But what if I told you that you're not failing? You know, that constant, nagging feeling that you're just one step away from everything falling apart? That's not some personal flaw. It's the cold, hard mathematical reality for millions of us. It's a system that's pretty much designed to feel like you're sprinting on a treadmill, working harder and harder, but going absolutely nowhere. So, how is this possible? I mean, it just feels fundamentally wrong, doesn't it? Well, in this explainer, we are going to do the actual math. We're going to break down exactly why that American dream can feel more like a nightmare for the average person. And, more importantly, we're going to talk about what you can actually do about it. So, first things first, let's get into what I call Trap 1, the survival math. This is the simple, kind of brutal arithmetic of just trying to live a completely normal, average American life. No luxuries, no fancy stuff, just the basics. Okay, let's start with our baseline number. The median household income in the US is about $84,000 a year. Now, on paper, that sounds kind of decent, right? I mean, that's supposed to be the definition of middle class. But let's see what actually happens to that money the second it hits your bank account. And this is where it gets absolutely wild. Watch how fast this evaporates. We start with a gross monthly income of $7,000. Pretty good. Instantly, taxes take you down to about $5,500. Then boom, housing. A modest apartment, $2,100. Gone. Then transportation, a car payment, insurance, gas, another $1,300. Poof, gone. Food, utilities, health insurance, student loans. And just like that, after all the must-haves, we're left with $460. That's it for the entire month. I mean, think about all the things that doesn't cover. Emergencies? Nope. Saving for retirement? Forget it. Childcare? No way. Clothes? Having any kind of social life? It's just not in the budget. One flat tire, one kid gets sick, and you are immediately in debt. This isn't living, it's just surviving. This is the math of being average. And here's the crucial thing to understand. This isn't your fault. Look at this chart. It tells the whole story. Since 1990, wages, that first bar, they've gone up about 180%. Okay, but look at housing costs, up 400%. And college tuition, it's literally off the charts at 500%. The cost of having a normal life has completely disconnected from what people are actually earning. The game is rigged. The math just doesn't work anymore. So naturally, you see all this and you think, okay, I get it. The problem is being average. I just need to earn more money. I'll get that promotion, I'll switch jobs, and then I'll finally be safe. It makes perfect sense, and it's what leads you directly into an even more dangerous, more subtle trap. And that brings us to trap number 2, the wealth illusion. This is the sneaky, tempting idea that a higher income will automatically solve all your problems. But in reality, it often just buys you a bigger, more expensive version of the exact same financial prison. Let's take a look at a real-world example. Let's meet the Parkers. They're a household with a combined income of $130,000 a year. Now, that puts them in the top 25% of earners in the entire country. I mean, by every single cultural yardstick we have, they have made it. They should be totally comfortable, right? Living the dream. But let's follow the money again. Their gross income is almost $11,000 a month. That's impressive. But after taxes and a pretty modest 401k contribution, they're down to about $7,000. Then the successful life kicks in, the bigger mortgage, the 2 car payments, groceries for a family, and then the absolute budget killer, healthcare and childcare. And just like that, they're in the red. They are negative $227. And that's before they've even bought a pair of shoes or paid for a kid's birthday party. I mean, this slide just lays out the whole illusion perfectly. On the left, you see the appearance. They're successful high earners. They've made it. But look at the reality on the right. They are living paycheck to paycheck, just like the median income household. They're just as stressed, just as trapped, just one emergency away from disaster. Earning more didn't buy them freedom. It just raised the cost of their cage. And this right here is the absolute core truth of the whole thing. Our society basically assigns a price tag to every income level. You make more money, and suddenly there's this invisible pressure to buy a bigger house, drive a nicer car, go on fancier vacations. Your real security, your freedom, it doesn't come from the number on your paycheck. It comes from the size of the gap you can create between what you earn and what you spend. So, if earning more isn't the magic bullet, then what is? Well, understanding that you're in a rigged game is the first step. But that's useless if you don't have an escape plan. So, it's time to stop playing by their rules and start creating our own. So here it is. The path to real financial freedom isn't some complicated secret. It's actually pretty simple, but it is challenging. It all boils down to these 3 key steps. Number 1, you have to run your real numbers. 2, you have to slay your financial vampires. And 3, you have to build and protect your gap. Let's break those down really quick. Okay, step 1, you have got to be brutally, unflinchingly honest with yourself. Sit down, figure out your actual take-home pay after every single deduction. Then list every single fixed expense. The mortgage, the car, the insurance, all of it. The number that's left over, that is your actual life. And here's the goal, the new rule. Your fixed expenses must be under 50% of your take-home pay. If they're not, you are in the danger zone, period. Step 2 is to identify and slay your financial vampires. These are the things that suck the life out of your bank account before you even have a chance to think. And for 99% of people, the 2 biggest vampires are housing and cars. We spend an absolute fortune on these 2 things, often paying interest on an asset that's either barely growing in value or, in the case of a car, is actively losing value every single day. You have to question these massive expenses. Do you really need that much house? Do you really need that new car? Okay, this brings us to the final and honestly the most important idea of all. Getting out of this trap requires you to make a conscious choice. It requires you to choose your hard. Now, this slide is everything. Just look at it. There are 2 kinds of hard in life. On the left, you have the socially approved hard. That's sleepless nights worrying about bills, the constant stress of credit card debt, retiring broke, all while you're trying to maintain the appearance of success. Then, on the right, you have the freedom-focused hard. That's driving a 10-year-old car, maybe living in a smaller house, being okay with not being like your peers. One of these paths leads to a lifetime of quiet desperation. The other one leads to actual, tangible freedom. So let's bring it all home. The system isn't broken. It's actually working exactly as it was designed. It's designed to keep people spending just enough to stay hopeful, but borrowing just enough to stay trapped. The problem isn't you. The problem is the product they're selling us called a normal life. So ultimately, this is the decision you have to make. The real choice you have in front of you isn't about being rich or poor. It's about deciding whether you want to spend your one life sacrificing genuine stability for the appearance of success. Most people, they choose the appearance. You don't have to be most people.